All right, everybody. It's me, Kamek60, joined with Grant.
Yes, hello.
And today we are recording our very first What's on My Mind. This is just going to be a sort of discussion type of video series where I just kind of pull a bunch of random topics in gaming and put it into one video and we just kind of talk about them.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Also, just in the background, I have some gameplay from my Splatoon live streams just to fill up the space. Just to have something on when we're not talking on a topic, or just to have something play in the background while we're talking on a topic. So our first topic is going to be DLSS5 and its new innovations it's bringing to gaming, made by NVIDIA. So we're just going to watch the trailer real quick. Have you seen this before?
I saw a screenshot.
So this is just going here's with it off, and then here's with it on. And this has caused quite a stir online. People, according to YouTube's numbers, there's 20% of people who like it and 80% of people who don't like it. Before I get your opinion, though, let's take a look. Let me point out some things that they're doing. All right, so from what I could tell, what the LS5 is doing, kind of look at how like on the original game is this kind of her skin's just kind of flat, but then this one adds like texture. There's like various skin tones going on with the texture now, and there's actually like you could see like where her like skin is like cheeks, where this here is just completely flat. You can see more depth in her eyelids, where here it's just a little bit more flat as well. There's a little bit more depth to her eyeballs. Her eyeballs look more round compared to the original as well. Um, I mean, if the if the goal was photorealistic, I think they kind of nailed it. To me, this almost looks like a young Scarlett Johansson was casted for the game, and they did some live action elements. In my opinion, it
Mm-hmm.
looks that good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then here, even here in the Leon shot, like that looks really good. I have to admit that looks really good. But with this update, you get more of the hair follicles on his shaved beard. Like it still looks good here. I feel like this kind of pluses it though. It's not really that much different. All right, well, I said my piece. What do you think, Grant?
I have a slightly different opinion, which could be interesting, but
Mm-hmm.
I think we know that DLSS is capable tech. Before this, DLSS 4, etc., we know that, it's obviously trying to reconstruct the visuals to make them appear higher quality when running at lower quality resolutions, or sometimes even lower frame rates, to try to generate frames in between and make things appear as if they're running at higher resolutions and frame rates when they're really not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think not, it is doing some of that here. Like, I think Leon looks better than, what's her name?
Grace.
Than Grace. Um, but I do think that Grace, it's just, and yes, I think some of the enhancements are good, but it's just like her face just looks so much more AI in with it in
Hmm.
the side to side with it on. And it's like AI just has this such distinctive look when it tries to make realistic humans. Like, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's get to the point where we can kind of always tell that this is AI's look, at least in the current day,
Hmm.
and it's obviously going to get better. And I'm sure within definitely 5 years, like, I'm sure we probably won't even be able to tell. Could be less than 5 years. But just something about it, like you can just kind of, it's kind of plasticky, it's kind of uncanny. Um, and like, is this like the worst AI execution I've ever seen? No, but it's just like when it takes something from that DLSS off image that looks like a video game that's not AI, and now like, and the the human model with the DLSS off is like, it's definitely a good AAA character model, like you can tell. But when it takes that and it makes it look something that's very more artificial and machine
Hmm.
generated, I just feel like you're definitely losing something. And yeah, I think that's my criticism. Like, I don't think the tech is a lost cause, but like
Hmm.
when they're relying on these machines to do human face reconstruction, or maybe it is something about like just like the lighting too, and just the sheen.
Yeah, she is a
Like,
little bit more exposed than than what she should be in the shot. But
yeah,
like this is just an example. This isn't like, oh, Capcom like approved this.
right. This is just Nvidia applying their tech onto Capcom's thing.
Hmm. But I do say like this is just this is just an example. It's probably not even done yet, and Capcom could
Right.
even probably improve it even more if they really wanted to use it. Um, I'm just looking at like I said, there's more shadow and depth to her cheeks now. Where on the other side, it was just more flat. It is just more of a flat model. Um,
Yeah,
humans do have more depth to their eyelids, where you don't really have that on the first example. So it's like
yeah,
those things. I'm like, if DLS5 can help us improve stuff like that without making a super um costly model, like
yeah.
let's say DLS5 makes it to where you can make lower quality models and save on memory space, but then DLSS5 makes those models look better. That could be a practical use.
I agree, and I think obviously the tech, the tech is definitely something to continue exploring, because I think the overall goal is just like, can we make games run at 8K 60 or 8K 120 with, on specs that could never even push that high. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and or even lower examples, right? Even games that could make things run at 4K 60 on tech that couldn't even push that high. Um, and I think that's great. Like, that definitely shows promise. And I think, right, I think this is a case where they're not applying this to Capcom's source code. They're just kind of applying this on top of the game that was, that I don't think Nvidia's looking at Capcom's source code at all. I don't think. I might be making an assumption, but
Uh huh.
um if the dev was to try to implement this themselves, and
they might have more freedom of what DLS5 is doing to the models and textures.
More control. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, I would say DLSS5 is just another tool. It's up to the developers if they want to implement it into their game or not. It's up to the user if they want to put it on top of the games that they're playing. But right now, I think you need like two of like one of the most expensive processors out there in the market right now to even do DLSS5. So
Yeah.
it's definitely just in the early stages. NVIDIA is just kind of like open and publicly like, hey, look at the stuff we're doing.
Right. And maybe I'm not even seeing the full effect of it, because I've honestly only ever looked at it on like my phone screen, and you're looking on a PC monitor, and it's like, are you going to see more if this is? Are you really going to get more out of it if you're blowing it up on a very high res display?
Also, something
with good color depth and HDR and stuff.
Something I would add as well is it looks a whole lot better in motion. It looks bad when it's just as a static like I have here, but when it's in motion, it kind of distracts you from it being AI, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'll probably say that the before picture, the raw Resident Evil from the game DLSS off, like also probably looks better in motion. Like when you've paused the frame, yeah, you could be like, okay, the lighting's not hitting here, like, whatever. But like, again, when in a moving frame, in a moving game, like, it's probably moving so fast that you're not really stopping to pick out the details, at least on a character model.
Yeah. Maybe they should have picked the cutscene of Grace on her laptop on top of her bed.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have been a more example. Because there's a whole lot more movement in that scene, but oh well.
Yeah.
I guess they just picked a shot that would have been able to but it would have been easy to recreate.
Right.
Actually, that cutscene would have been easy to recreate too, but I don't know. Maybe they're just like, gameplay is going to be more important than a cutscene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't want all my games to be photorealistic, but if a game is going to be photorealistic, I want them to look more like humans instead of looking like fake humans. Which, you're right, it does kind of look fake human, but I would say that this is probably the most realistic human I've ever seen in a video game, despite GTA 6 coming out. GTA 6 has some pretty good human models in that.
Yeah.
And that's not...
And we've still only seen limited gameplay and footage of that,
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping the random NPCs that walk around and fill up the city look as realistic as the characters that we've been seeing in the cutscenes, because that's what I've been doing some GTA 5 roleplay, and that's one of the things that I've kind of noticed about the random wandering NPCs in that game is they're all just kind of basic and generic, and they repeat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we're going a little bit off topic now. All right, but our next one is a simple one.
That down. Let's move on to this, shall we?
Yeah. We got Sonic Movie 4 casting announcement and Variety reports that we have Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz, Kristen Bell, Idris Elba, Keanu Reeves, James Marsden, Tika Sumpter, butchering that name.
She plays the girlfriend, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Put her next to James Marsden. Ben Kingsley, Matt Berry, Colin O'Shaughnessy.
Okay.
And we also got Lee. We got someone named me, Lee M. I can't pronounce the last one. Um, Nick Offerman and Richard Ayoade.
Were there characters associated with? We know Kristen Bell's Amy. I kind of know obviously Ben Schwartz, the Sonic, Keanu Reeves' Shadow, Idris Elba's Knuckles.
Right.
James Marsden is the guy.
Tika's probably the girl.
Yeah. What about after that? Do we know? Sorry, I still haven't seen the third movie. I guess I would have to look. How many of those were in the third movie? I don't think Nick Offerman. I don't think Nick Offerman was in any of them so far, was he? Oh yeah, Lee Majdoub is the agent that works with Robotnik.
Okay.
Did you say Adam Pauly?
No, that wasn't in the Variety report.
Okay. Well, I don't know if any of these characters are. I mean, I think the big one, obviously, that we got, last week or 2 weeks ago or something, was Kristen Bell as Amy.
I'd say
I think
it's still pretty big. Is Jim Carrey coming back? We were sure if Jim Carrey would come back. I mean, his character kind of looked like he died, but I don't know. I kind of feel like that's the Sonic movie trend where it's like we made you think we got rid of Eggman, but we really didn't. I mean, maybe these three names at the bottom of the list could be Metal Sonic. Like, we don't know if Metal Sonic is going to be talking or not.
Yeah, Nick Offerman could be Metal Sonic.
I mean, we know from the games lore that Metal Sonic has a superiority complex where he is definitely the fake Sonic, the one that's made to mimic Sonic and defeat Sonic. But that's not what Metal Sonic thinks. Metal Sonic thinks that he is the original Sonic and that the real Sonic is a copy of him. So that's why Metal Sonic wants to destroy real Sonic, is because he thinks he's the real Sonic.
Uh-huh.
So if we're going to have that in the movie, I mean, I guess you would have to have somebody voice him so that the audience knows that that's what Metal Sonic is. You mean, you kind of have to verbally say, like, I'm the real Sonic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're not going to go with that plot because there was an army of Metal Sonics. It'd be kind of weird if this Metal Sonic thought that he was the real Sonic if there was an army of them. So I don't know.
I mean, I think one of the big parts of this press release was the release date, right? It's like April next year, or no, it's like today next year, like March 19th, right?
Yeah, they did put out a release date, March 19th, 2027. That is pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
This was a movie that nobody was excited for back when the first one came out. This is a movie that Sonic fans are all waiting for.
Oh, actually, I think we might have already known that date. But yeah, no, I totally agree.
The Twitter post
and
looks like,
I don't know. I think I told you this before, but when we first saw that first bad Sonic model trailer, I don't think a lot of people would have believed you had told them, oh, it's going to get at least 3 sequels.
I was expecting at most a second film. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting a third film, and then when they teased the third film and the second film, I was just like, oh my gosh, they have to do a third film. And then at the end of the third one, I was just like, this movie's gonna make enough to where they're gonna have to make a fourth one as well. It's just a train that keeps on rolling.
Yeah, we'll see how far it goes, right? Like, obviously, Sonic's popular. Like, I'm guessing this movie's popular with kids, and like, I wonder how into the games kids are.
I think it's definitely put more confidence in Sega. I mean, not saying that there's been any concrete evidence towards this, but it almost kind of seems like the Sonic movies kind of, encouraged them to make Sonic Frontier.
Yeah,
We're still waiting for a sequel to that. Not like, oh, this is Sonic Frontier 2, but like another game using that type of gameplay.
Right. And I mean, there was a time like just before like Colors and Generations where like people didn't really have a lot of hope for Sonic anymore, you know? And even after that, like I don't like Forces didn't really blow a lot of people away. Though around Forces we also got Mania. And if you're into classic Sonic, like I think a lot of people were really happy with
Yeah,
Sonic Mania.
that was like
Uh,
done by like a third party studio though, or a third party game development
yeah, I think they
party.
licensed it out to somebody who like made a fan game or something.
Mm-hmm. So like even though Sonic Mania was good, it's still like unsure if like Sega even knew what to do with Sonic at that time. Which fortunately they did know what they were doing and they gave us Sonic Frontier.
Yeah. And I think people were pretty happy with the like shadow thing that was in
Hmm.
the Generations re-release, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the only controversy around that was it being a game key card on Nintendo Switch 2.
GameCube. It being a what?
It was a game it was a game key card on the Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry. Game key card. Yeah, sadly. You know what else is a game key card? I don't know if you wanted to go to this topic, but
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, we could skip to it because the other one's just a really quick one. Pokemon Pokopia, Pokemon Pokopia sold out in stores despite being a game key card.
yeah.
What do you think of that?
Well, I wonder if like a lot of the casual audience like doesn't even realize or care. Like they just want to go to the store and buy a game. And if they put it in and it has to download more than, the day one patch or whatever, it
Mm-hmm.
actually has to download the whole game, like they just don't really think of it. Like I have a feeling, yeah, because obviously when something like this sells out like that, like it can't just be the hardcores, it's got to be casuals.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, even
and
even if
obviously
Nintendo
this game is very,
even if Nintendo did undersupply Pokopia, it still sold a whole lot.
yeah,
And like, some consumers probably don't even notice what is written on the bottom of the box and they just buy it.
right. And a lot of the game key cards up to this point, it's like, these are third party games that
Mm-hmm. And Sony's been doing
you can already get on other consoles, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
now here's like a game key card that's like this is a new Switch 2 game. If you want this in any physical capacity whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
you
It's
got to get the
it's
game key card.
it's a game developed by Square, but it's being advertised as the next big Pokemon game. even though it's not made by the people who made the series,
I don't think it was
actually,
made.
no,
I think
no,
it
it's
was
not
made
about-
by a
not-
smaller studio.
it's not made by Square. It's made by Koei Tecmo. So it's even smaller than Square. But even then, yeah. This is a game developed by Koei Tecmo, but it's being advertised as the next big Pokemon game.
It was developed by Omega Force. Oh yeah, which is under Koei Tecmo. You're right. Um, they're a division of Koei Tecmo, and obviously, the biggest similarities are to Dragon Quest Builders 2,
Yeah.
which I always heard was like a great game that just like
And it was probably a gateway for them to make Pokemon Pokopia.
yeah, which I hear was a great game, but it's just like Dragon Quest spin-offs usually have a hard time selling. Like Dragon Quest fans will always buy the mainline ones.
Now, I did hear that Dragon Quest Builders 2 does have an advantage over Pokopia, and that's that there's battles in Dragon Quest Builders 2, and there's absolutely no battles in Pokopia, but
Interesting.
I mean, they're two different properties, two different type of games.
I will say, yes, I
Yes.
mean, I've been hearing a lot of people hype up Pokopia and like, I think it's cool when like a niche or Nintendo game kind of like pops off like this. But I don't know if I still fully understand the gameplay loop. You just have like a little farm, like or a little base, like hangout area that you kind of like Animal Crossing and like, customize and like.
So there's
But then you can also like a Minecraft mechanic of
there's
blocks?
areas, and you're rebuilding each area. And as you're rebuilding each area, you're making habitats so that you can bring Pokemon back to the world. Because that's kind of the story. Is there's this island that used to be populated with humans and Pokemon, and not only has the humans have left, but the Pokemon have left. So it's up to Ditto to kind of rebuild the town, make it look nice again, and also build habitats so that the Pokemon return. We don't know what happened to the humans, but at least we can build habitats and make it a happy place for the Pokemon to return.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a basic understanding of the story.
Gotcha.
Nobody I heard talk about Pokemon has actually known what the story is. So, yeah, it's definitely something you have to play to the very end to know what exactly happened to this area.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yeah,
Well, I mean,
when I get
th- I-
when I get better at planning my game schedules, I'll definitely be playing Pokopia in the future.
yeah, it's something I maybe wouldn't mind trying. I think there's some backlog stuff I maybe would want to get to first, but
Mm-hmm. My first experience buying a game that wasn't even on the disc that I bought was Overwatch. I bought it at the store and I brought it home, and then after I did that, I noticed on that box actually it said something about the game not actually being on it, and you just download it. And then I was just like, oh. So, and I'm a gamer, and I didn't even notice that.
yeah.
Imagine people who aren't gamers and just buy games for fun. They're definitely not gonna notice, even with Nintendo being upfront that game key cards are game key cards.
Right.
At the very least, Nintendo's advertising it on the box. Most of their first party games are all in the cartridge, but at the very least, they're giving games that would have been all digital an option that give you a yellow card that you can hold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully, at some point, we get to the like the cost of these cartridges goes down, or for manufacturing, or hopefully like they eventually present more options like in storage size, because I think right now there's only a 64 gig or a game key card. Um, Hopefully at some point that like they can solve for that, and with like we get fewer game key cards, especially like from like a big second party release like this.
Yeah. If I do remember, Nintendo did say that they were gonna uh make an effort to make it to where there's more card options. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna cost more for Nintendo, but at least they said that they're gonna try to do it. Let's hopefully they do try to do it, and they're just not like, we'll try to do it, and then they'll just be like, oh, we just got an estimate, and then after we got the estimate of how much it's gonna cost, then we're like, we're not gonna do it. They could always do that too.
Right, because if I have to get the next Zelda on a game key card, I'll buy it one way or another, whether I get the key card or I get the digital. Like I'll get the damn game, but I'll be a little sad that the game's not on the cart.
hmm Maybe Nintendo is gonna utilize DLSS 5 on the next Zelda game.
Yeah, I mean yeah.
Nah. I don't. The Switch
I don't
could
think they're gonna
definitely.
go for. I don't
They're
think they're gonna go for that level of realism.
nah. The Switch 2 wouldn't be able to handle that. It doesn't have two processors inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nintendo got a Nintendo Switch 2 got a boost in handheld mode. What do you think of that?
That's an awesome update. Um,
It can now play as if it's docked while it's in handheld mode. I didn't know exactly what
for
boost
Switch
mode
One
was.
for Switch One games.
Yeah, for Switch One waves. I didn't know exactly what boost mode was, so I looked up a video before we did this discussion, and there's other stuff to it, but like boost mode is definitely the one that people are mostly talking about. And since we're talking about it, I had to make a funny image for us today, which is somebody giving the Switch 2 a boost on the swing.
No, this is awesome because obviously the Switch One has a massive library, and not all these games are going to get patches for the Switch 2. But, obviously all these Switch 1 games, they had to have two configurations. They had to have a handheld configuration that was, maxed out at 720p, and a docked configuration that maxed out at 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a clever way to try to make some of those older games look better. Um,
Yeah.
on the Switch 2
Even some of
in
Nintendo's
handheld.
first party games are getting a boost from it.
Yeah.
Um, Now Splatoon 3 and Splatoon 2, I don't think they ever needed a boost mode. I think they've always ran fine in dock and handheld, but
Yeah.
it's definitely good for the other games that need it.
Did Splatoon 3 ever get any kind of like 4K patch?
It didn't get a 4K patch, but it did get a patch that um improved frame rate and loading times. I think
On
that's what.
when played on Switch 2?
Yeah. And
Got it.
for some reason they swapped out the loading screen graphic, like the old graphic that's on the yield corner. I have no idea why they did that. Nintendo never uh, updates their loading screens, but for some reason this one time on Splatoon 3 they decided to update the loading screen. It's just a really random thing. They've never done it before.
Yeah.
Also, they made it easier for you to invite friends to the game chat. as well. That was also part of the update. All right.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I think boost mode is good. And obviously, it's good that it's. I think it's good that it's toggleable. Like because they do have a little disclaimer that's like, you know, this might eat your battery faster.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's like people were doing when they were hacking the Switch 2 and they were uncapping it. It's sort of it reminds me of that.
yeah. And I think if you're playing like games with like retro looks, like you probably don't need it.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't need it if you're playing a Game Boy game.
Yeah, or like, any kind of pixel art game. You might see a little difference, but I don't know if it's like going to be enough to be worth it. Versus something Xenoblade, like Xenoblade 2, where the
Yeah,
game just traditionally has always kind of struggled in handheld mode and like
you're playing a Monolith Soft game that pushes the Nintendo's hardware to its absolute limits. Or you're playing, I don't know. It probably helps out with Resident Evil Requiem as well. There's another game that is pushing the Switch hardware to its limits.
I don't think it has any effect on Switch 2 games though.
Oh yeah. You're right. But that is a game that you probably would want boost mode on. But yeah, you can't use it.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like the Switch version of like RE5.
Maybe it already looks good in handheld mode. Maybe it doesn't need boost. It already looks good in handheld.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, obviously we haven't seen the movie yet, but the movie is the crown jewel of the Super Mario Bros. 40th. What do you think of it so far? Or I guess yeah. Before it's over, what do you think of it so far?
Mario Galaxy movie?
The Super Mario 40th in general. We've had we had Mario Tennis Fever come out. We've had the update to Super Mario Bros. In Bella Bella Park. I think there was another thing. There was a fourth thing. Oh yeah, Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 coming to the Switch 2. And the Mario Galaxy movie. So yeah, what do you think of the Super Mario Bros. 40th so far?
It's all right.
Oh yeah, can't forget about the Talking Flower. The Talking Flower also came out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't really partaken in anything that you just listed.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for the 35th, I was really stoked for 3D All Stars, and I thought, well, besides Animal Crossing, I thought, that year was a little dry for other Switch games. And I was like, oh, 3D All Stars kind of came out at a good time in that regard.
Mm-hmm. 3D All Stars give me a chance to really play Sunshine and find out that game is just bad. Like in terms of a Mario game, it's just bad, and that's really Galaxy's fault because Galaxy is by far the best 3D game they've ever made. Odyssey is really good, but Odyssey is a close second to being the best, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, if my first exposure to 3D Mario was the absolute best, kind of makes Sunshine gives Sunshine a really hard chance at actually being good. Yeah, a high bar. Yeah. I guess a high bar. But I mean, I was also just kind of thinking about like if I was playing this as a kid, someone who's more unexperienced with video games, I wouldn't be able to progress in it. The problem with Sunshine, in my opinion, is a lot of the shines are just not fun. Where like they're challenging, but they're challenging in an unfun way, you know? Where in
Yeah.
Galaxy, I feel like in Galaxy they really found the perfect like way to make stars that were just fun. Even if they were challenging, they were like challenging in a fun way.
Yeah, sometimes Sunshine just feels like unfair.
Mm-hmm. Or they just kind of made a shine mission, and they're just like, oh well, the gamer is gonna figure it out.
Hmm.
There's this one level in Sunshine where it's just this big flat, it's like this big flat floating box, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but even I was kind of like confused of what to even do in that area. This is like
Hmm.
big flat square with some stuff on it. A bunch of metal grates underneath it, something like that. The crazy thing is, people rage about that boat at the end before Bowser's final boss. I actually did it perfectly first try. The only reason why I had to do it again is because I got greedy and tried to get the 1-up mushroom at the end.
Hmm.
And then when I actually got to the boss, I was disappointed because I'm like, this is like the easiest final boss in a Mario game ever. Bowser doesn't even fight you. The only thing you have to worry about in that boss fight is the bullet bills that Bowser Jr. is shooting at you, and that's it.
Right. Well, you know what's interesting is now from 3D All Stars, the only game of those three that you really can't get anymore since they pulled 3D All Stars is now Sunshine.
Hmm.
But probably not
Mm-hmm.
for long because I'm sure they're going to add it to.
GameCube NSO.
Yeah, but I know when they added Mario 64 to 64 NSO, it didn't have all the enhancements. Like they did some like high def texture replacement and stuff in that in the 3D All Stars version of 64.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I know the 3D All Stars version of Sunshine had some like HD upscaling.
It did.
Yeah, I thought it was running at 720, and I don't think it would be running at 720 on
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
GameCube.
yeah. You're probably right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's still, the
That's still the best way to play it.
is 3D All Stars. Yeah.
They even made a patch where you could play with the GameCube controller too.
Hmm. That was cool.
That was a good example of Nintendo listening to the feedback and actually doing something about it.
Hmm.
But I mean, like, I'm I'm not disappointed by Super Mario Bros. 40 because Nintendo celebrates the Super Mario Bros. Anniversary every 5 years, which is kind of insane to me. Because I mean, like, if I was doing it, I would celebrate the 10 year, the 25 year, and the 50th year. I wouldn't be doing every 5 years. Makes the anniversary a whole lot more less meaningful if you do it every 5 years. So
I agree.
I'm just like, we didn't need something huge for the 40th. We don't need something huge for the 45th. But we do need Nintendo to do something huge for the 50th. Then that will be a year to remember. The 50th,
Hmm.
half of 100 years. That is more huge than it being 40 years.
If we get a new Mario game this fall, is that still technically part of the anniversary?
I don't know. I guess it's up to Nintendo. They said the crown jewel is going to be the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which it looks like it is going to be the Super Mario Galaxy movie just by all the stuff that's in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We got stuff from Super Mario Bros. 2 in it, Sunshine, and a bunch of other games. It was like a crab enemy. I thought it was a sidestepper. No, it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes you wonder what they're gonna do for uh the third Mario movie.
Yeah.
But I think directly after the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I think we're gonna start getting the spin-offs. I think we're gonna get the Donkey Kong movie first, and then after the Donkey Kong movie, we're probably gonna get a Luigi movie. But even before we get the Donkey Kong movie, we still got that live-action Zelda movie to get too.
Yeah, that's next year. That's next. That's literally next.
Yeah, I'd say like 4 or 5 months after the Super Mario Galaxy movie comes out, we start seeing advertisement for the Zelda movie. Get more images, get more casting, get a trailer. All that stuff is gonna start coming out after Nintendo is done advertising the Super Mario Galaxy movie. They don't want
Hmm.
Zelda to take away box office sales of the current thing, you know.
Right. But are we going to see a Pikmin movie?
Yeah, they did kind of spoil that. I have no idea why they spoiled that. But yeah, I mean, I guess really the hardcore fans are the people that are only gonna be watching Nintendo's Twitter and see something like that. But still, yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I
mean,
think
I
they
guess if
know that as soon as they put that out, like all the all the
yeah,
pop culture blogs and stuff are gonna like, tweet about it.
yeah. But I'm also kind of thinking about like that feeder reaction. But I guess you're probably still gonna get that feeder reaction. Just,
No, I think this means they're not showing all their cards. I think
hmm. You think there's more than just the
now
Pikmin in this movie?
now showing the Pikmin kind of blow the lid off of like there are other IP in this movie, Maybe. Like you could say that. Um, but and we already kind of knew Rob was in it, and he's not even technically Mario.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like, what are we gonna do if just like they see a bunch of ink on the ground and then just like this inkling pops out?
Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, they just go onto a planet, and it's like, what the heck? This is a post-apocalyptic planet with squid and octo people on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for shock value for Mario, you would have to you have to create you would have to like create like a whole new area of Splatoon that we haven't seen in the universe of just like what have the Inklings turned New York into? So far,
Mm.
Splatoon 1 and 2 have been just where Tokyo is, and then Splatsville is like on another island next to Tokyo. We haven't actually seen like what this world looks like in any other country besides Tokyo. Uh, Splatoon 2, I think some people have said that like Pearl and Marina are supposed to be like North American idols in a way. So we had some North American influences in the games, but we haven't like gone to like a part of this world that is like this is the American part of the world, like Pokemon has done.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Um,
right.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see Splatoon get referenced in the Mario Bros. Movie, but I think we're so far away from Splatoon ever getting a movie that I definitely wouldn't be predicting or expecting to see Splatoon anything in this movie.
I don't know if it has the full casual appeal yet.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
mean, Splatoon is. I'm pretty sure Splatoon is over 10 years old now, if not 10 years old now. It still needs to take some time. Something that I've noticed with brands in America is, uh, people here grow more fond over brands the longer that they last. The longer a brand has lasted, the more fond Americans become. More fond they become of it. More fans generate if a IP lasts long enough. Pokemon was huge back when it first came out, but it kind of died down during the DS era, and then when the Switch era of Pokemon started, we started seeing an influx of fans. So like even stuff like that, we see that the longer something is, the more America kind of just latches onto something.
yep.
So yeah, I that's what I think. Splatoon doesn't need more popularity in Japan. I mean, it definitely could use more. I mean, it definitely wouldn't hurt, but the Splatoon franchise, with time, might gain a fan base that's at least comparable to Japan in the future, I would say. We're just not there yet.
Yeah. But
All right.
it'll probably happen. I mean, it's already had 3 games and less than, well, it's been a decade now, but the third game, it got 3 games within a decade, which not a lot of franchises can say.
Yeah, it took for I mean it took a decade just for Pikmin to get its third game.
Yeah, it wasn't, yeah, that was,
But the fourth one did came around quicker.
yeah, 3 was a minute. 4 was actually,
Had a really quick
that was like
turnaround
another
time.
decade, wasn't it?
Maybe. I thought it was sooner than that because it was Wii U to Switch, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was another 10 year. But yeah, overall, I'd say what we got is just what we needed for a Mario 40th. You agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think the movie will satisfy,
It's definitely gonna satisfy the casual audience.
and there will be a new Mario game sooner or later, like there always is.
Mm-hmm. I guess another thing to think about is like, even if people don't recognize all the characters that show up in the movie, that's going to get the casual audience to want to seek out those characters they don't recognize, and they might play games that they otherwise wouldn't, which would be really good for Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right, well, that has been the first What's on My Mind. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel. I know you didn't really get to see the gameplay that much, but if you want to see me play Splatoon live on Twitch, don't forget to follow me on Twitch as well. And I'll catch you guys next time. Grant, do you want to say goodbye?
Have a good one.